This is it, folks, the moment where the rubber meets the road in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. We are looking at a date that should be circled in red ink on every calendar in the astrophysical community. March 17th, 2026. That is the day 3I Atlas, our third confirmed interstellar visitor, makes a rendezvous that feels entirely too precise to be a coincidence. We are talking about an encounter with Jupiter's irregular moon, Euphim, at a distance of a mere 30.46 million kilometers. Now, to the uninitiated, 30 million kilometers might sound like a vast ocean of empty space. But in the context of celestial mechanics and the immense gravitational well of a gas giant like Jupiter, that is a hair's breadth. This is no ordinary celestial drive-by where a rock aimlessly wanders through the neighborhood. As 3I Atlas hurtles toward the king of planets, it is poised to unleash a series of gravitational interactions that could fundamentally rewrite the rules of space dynamics. We have to ask the hard questions that the mainstream narrative seems terrified to touch. Could this close pass trigger the birth of a new moon around Jupiter, captured by the delicate interplay of gravity? Or is it possible, just possible, that 3I Atlas is something far more than just a cosmic traveler tumbling through the void? We might be looking at an object with a purpose, deliberately heading toward this precise moment in time and space. With every new piece of data streaming down from our observation networks, the mysteries surrounding 3I Atlas grow deeper and the uncomfortable questions begin to mount. Is this an extraordinary natural occurrence that we are just lucky enough to witness, or is there something far more calculated, cold, and intelligent at play here? This approach to Jupiter's gravitational domain will not only bring 3I Atlas closer to one of Jupiter's lesser-known moons, but could also set off a cascade of gravitational effects. The object's proximity to Euphim is what keeps me up at night, staring at the orbital diagrams. Euphim is a small, irregular moon, part of a chaotic group that orbits Jupiter in highly elliptical and unpredictable paths. These moons are thought to be the shattered remnants of a parent body that broke apart eons ago during the violent early days of the solar system. Their orbits were scattered by the immense crushing gravity of Jupiter, creating a graveyard of debris. For an interstellar object like 3I Atlas to enter this specific region at precisely the right time and trajectory raises more questions than answers. It is like throwing a dart from a mile away and hitting a specific fly buzzing around the board. Could 3I Atlas's journey be more than just a random occurrence, governed by the chaotic roll of the cosmic dice? Could its path have been set in motion millennia ago with this specific encounter in mind? The specifics of this event are being closely monitored by astronomers who are sweating bullets while they rely on advanced telescopes and spacecraft like Juno to collect data. They know that if they miss a single frame of telemetry, they might miss the smoking gun. But the encounter's potential goes way beyond mere passive observation and collecting spectral lines. Theoretically, this close interaction could trigger a process where fragments of 3I Atlas are captured into orbit around Jupiter. This would potentially add a new moon to the planet's already vast collection, a permanent alien artifact in our backyard. This wouldn't be an ordinary capture of a stray asteroid wandering in from the Kuiper Belt. The precise timing and alignment required for such an event would be astronomical rarities bordering on the impossible. The object's pass near Euphim, along with its careful alignment with Jupiter's gravitational influence, suggests that something far more unusual is occurring. Is it the result of natural forces acting in a way we have never seen before? Or is it the outcome of a perfectly orchestrated cosmic maneuver executed by an autonomous system? The possibility that 3I Atlas might leave behind debris or interact with Jupiter's moons adds a new layer of anxiety to the mystery surrounding this object. Such an event would not just alter our understanding of the Jovian system in a textbook sense, it would challenge the very foundations of astrophysics and our assumptions about the prevalence of technology in the Milky Way. For now, scientists are waiting with bated breath to see whether any new moons will be formed. We are watching to see if remnants of 3I Atlas will become part of Jupiter's irregular satellite system, essentially parking a probe in orbit. This could be the first time in history that such an interaction is documented, making this upcoming passage one of the most anticipated events in astronomical history. Since its discovery on July 1, 2025, 3I Atlas has become one of the most intriguing interstellar objects to be observed by humanity. It has taken the crown from its predecessors and worn it with a terrifying elegance. While interstellar objects like Oumuamua and 2I Borisov piqued interest due to their origin beyond the solar system, 3I Atlas is in a league of its own. It has distinguished itself by behaving in ways that are not just unexpected, but seem to defy the very laws of physics we hold dear. These anomalies are not isolated to just one or two peculiarities that can be explained away as data glitches. They span across the object's trajectory, its jetting behavior, and its very composition. All of these factors raise fundamental questions about what we truly know about interstellar space objects. 3I Atlas's behavior is so far outside the norm that it has led some researchers to seriously consider the forbidden hypothesis. We have to consider the possibility that this object may be something engineered, either by nature, in a way we don't understand, or by intelligent design. It is looking less like a natural comet or asteroid and more like a machine. The anomalies that surround 3I Atlas are extensive, creating a laundry list of impossibilities. But perhaps the most intriguing and the most damning evidence of artificiality is its precise trajectory. Unlike the seemingly random paths taken by other interstellar objects which come in from all angles, 3I Atlas follows a highly aligned path through the solar system. Its trajectory is aligned to within just 5 degrees of the ecliptic plane. For those who don't know, the ecliptic is the flat disk where most of the solar system's planets and smaller bodies orbit. Interstellar space is three-dimensional. Objects should be coming from above, below, or sideways. The likelihood of such a precise alignment occurring by chance is incredibly low, statistically bordering on zero. It leads to the uncomfortable suggestion that there might be something more at play than just gravitational forces. Could this object have been sent to Earth, or at least our system, with a specific purpose in mind? Was its path intentionally guided to match the orbital plane of the planets it wanted to scan? Alongside this odd alignment is the timing of 3I Atlas's approach, which feels like a scheduled itinerary. Its journey has been characterized by a series of strange, well-timed events that scream course correction. Its approach to Mars and then Jupiter, combined with its near disappearance from Earth's view behind the Sun, seems almost too perfect to be a random occurrence. It hid in the glare of our star, just like a tactical pilot would. Such a precise trajectory is almost unheard of in the chaotic billiard table of the galaxy. It is leading some scientists to wonder whether it is merely an incredible coincidence or part of something much larger. The object's arrival in the solar system seems almost too calculated to be the product of nature's random chance. We are taught that nature is messy, but 3I Atlas is precise, clean, and efficient. Equally bizarre, and perhaps the smoking gun of this entire saga, is the sunward jet emitted by 3I Atlas. Unlike most comets, which eject gas and dust in a broad, diffuse coma that spreads out in all directions, this is different. 3I Atlas has been seen emitting a narrow, focused jet that points directly at the sun like a laser beam. The jet was visible before perihelion and has continued even after the object passed the closest point to the sun. This is highly unusual for a comet, which typically loses its jet intensity once it moves away from the heat of the star. The persistence of the sunward jet suggests that there are forces at play other than the typical sublimation processes we associate with dirty snowballs. In fact, the jet's consistency and narrow focus raise the question of whether it could be artificial propulsion. It is possibly being controlled by some external mechanism or an internal guidance computer reacting to solar proximity. Moreover, the gravitational deflection 3I Atlas underwent at perihelion is another massive anomaly that the textbooks can't explain. Normally, objects passing close to the sun experience gravitational perturbations that alter their trajectory in predictable ways. However, despite a deflection of about 16 degrees, 3I Atlas's jet remained perfectly sunward. It tracked the star like a sunflower, or perhaps like a solar collector maintaining optimal efficiency. This deflection, coupled with the persistence of the sunward jet, is not something that traditional cometary models can easily explain. Most comets would experience a significant shift in their outflow direction following such a violent gravitational influence. But 3I Atlas held steady, maintaining its orientation with a mechanical rigidity. It is hinting at forces beyond natural comet dynamics, perhaps a gyroscopic stabilization system keeping it locked on target. The object's rotation axis has also raised eyebrows among the few astronomers brave enough to discuss it openly. The spin axis of 3I Atlas has been observed to be aligned within 8 degrees of the sunward direction. This alignment is exceptionally rare for a tumbling rock in space. The fact that it remained unchanged, even after perihelion, defies the behavior of most space objects, which usually start tumbling chaotically after a close pass. The likelihood of such alignment occurring by chance is so low that it leads researchers to wonder if this alignment is part of a larger orchestrated mechanism. It suggests the object is looking at the sun, or perhaps shielding itself from it. Another anomaly that we simply cannot ignore is the composition of 3I Atlas. The object's gas plume contains an unusually high concentration of nickel relative to iron, which is unlike typical comet compositions. Nickel, a metal commonly found in industrial alloys and high-grade manufacturing, is not a typical component of the icy bodies we usually associate with comets. We expect water, methane, ammonia, and dust, not refined heavy metals. This raises the possibility that 3I Atlas might be something more than just a simple comet. Its composition suggests that it could be the remnant of a much more complex object, perhaps the hull of a derelict craft. It is possibly one that has been engineered or altered in ways we don't fully understand, using alloys that resist the harshness of deep space. If you were building a probe to last 1 billion years, you would use nickel-iron alloys. The object's speed also stands out as a major red flag in the data. It is traveling much faster than typical interstellar objects, moving with a velocity that implies it is in a hurry. Its extreme velocity is accompanied by a trajectory that seems too precise to be purely natural. Usually speed comes at the cost of precision, but 3I Atlas has both in spades. The object's speed and its highly calculated path through the solar system raise the possibility that it was directed here rather than being a random passerby. It didn't just fall into our gravity well, it dove in. This lends further weight to the theory that 3I Atlas is no ordinary cosmic wanderer, but could be an engineered object utilizing a propulsion system we can't see. We might be watching a braking maneuver or a gravity assist in real time. Adding to the intrigue, 3I Atlas also exhibits extreme negative polarization of reflected light. This is a feature that has never been seen in another comet, making it a unique specimen in the astronomical record. The way that light scatters off the object is abnormal, suggesting that its surface has unusual properties. It implies a surface that is smoother or more metallic than the rough, dusty surface of a typical asteroid. In addition to this, the object brightened rapidly as it approached perihelion, much faster than expected. Most comets gradually brighten as they approach the sun as the ice begins to sublime, but 3I Atlas's acceleration in brightness was explosive, suggesting a sudden activation or a surface reaction that is not natural. Its bluer color, when compared to the sun, is yet another anomaly that challenges traditional comet models. Comets are usually reddish due to organic compounds on their surface, known as tholins. A blue object implies a lack of dust, or perhaps a metallic or synthetic surface reflecting the blue spectrum of starlight. These anomalies are not just minor footnotes in a scientific paper, they are screaming for attention. Its trajectory, jet behavior, rotation axis, composition, speed, polarization, and unusual outgassing patterns make 3I Atlas one of the most scientifically perplexing objects ever observed. Though it is often classified as a natural comet by those who want to keep the public calm, the data tells a different story. The sheer number of deviations from typical cometary behavior makes it impossible to ignore the possibility that 3I Atlas is something altogether more complex. Could it be a fragment of a larger artificial object, wreckage from a distant star war, or even a piece of functional alien technology? While this remains speculative, the anomalies make such a theory difficult to dismiss outright. The continued study of 3I Atlas promises to provide new insights into the mysteries of interstellar space, if we are brave enough to look. As the object approaches its closest point to Jupiter in 2026, and as more data is collected, the questions surrounding it will only grow. Will we eventually confirm that it is a simple natural object, forcing us to rewrite every textbook on cometary physics? Or will we uncover something far more extraordinary that changes our place in the universe forever? Whatever the outcome, 3I Atlas serves as a powerful reminder that the universe still holds many secrets that we are barely beginning to scratch the surface of. It is a humble check on our arrogance, proving we don't know nearly as much as we think we do. As we continue to study this fascinating interstellar visitor, we may find that the boundaries of our understanding of the cosmos are not as solid as we once thought. The walls of our reality are porous and things are slipping through from the outside. In the years ahead, as 3I Atlas fades into the distant reaches of space, its legacy will likely persist. It will push the boundaries of astronomical study and force us to confront the unknowns that lie at the edges of our universe. If anything, 3I Atlas proves that even the most well-understood areas of science can be shaken by unexpected events. And in the vastness of space, there is always more to discover, usually right when we think we have it all figured out. Let's dig a little deeper into the Fermi of it all, referencing the great Enrico Fermi. He famously asked, "Where is everybody?" implying that if life is common, we should have seen it by now. Well, maybe Enrico Fermi was looking for radio signals when he should have been looking for physical packages. 3I Atlas fits the profile of a Bracewell probe, an autonomous device sent to monitor civilizations. If you were an advanced civilization, you wouldn't send biological astronauts on a million-year suicide mission. You would send a durable, nickel-heavy, AI-controlled rock to do the heavy lifting. And where would you park it? You wouldn't orbit Earth immediately and cause a panic. You would use the gravity of the largest planet in the system, Jupiter, to brake and observe from a distance. The encounter with Euphim is the perfect cover for such a maneuver. It looks like a random flyby, but it provides the perfect gravitational keyhole to alter an orbit without expending fuel. We have to consider the role of the James Webb Space Telescope, or JWST, in this unfolding drama. JWST has the capability to analyze the spectra of this object in detail, looking for signatures that shouldn't be there. But are we getting the full picture from the data releases? When objects defy physics this blatantly, there is often a lag between discovery and public disclosure. The scientific community is conservative by nature. They require extraordinary evidence for extraordinary claims. But 3I Atlas is providing extraordinary evidence every single day it spins through our system. Let's circle back to that blue color anomaly because it really sticks in my craw. In the solar system, blue usually means ice, like on Neptune or Uranus. But 3I Atlas passed close to the sun. Surface ice should have sublimated away in a massive cloud. If it's not ice, and it's not the reddish dust of organic tholins, what is it? Some metals oxidize blue, some synthetic materials reflect blue light. It is a color that suggests artificiality when seen on an object in this specific thermal environment. And then there is the rotation, that steady, unyielding spin. A natural object, battered by solar winds and outgassing, should be wobbling like a dying top. 3I Atlas is spinning with the precision of a gyroscope, maintaining its orientation relative to the sun. That implies an active control system, something fighting against the chaos of space. We also need to talk about the blueberry theory, a term some underground astronomers are using. If this object is blue and roundish, is it a sensor sphere? It sounds like science fiction, but remember, science fiction is just science we haven't discovered yet. The distinct lack of a chaotic tumble is the hallmark of artificial stabilization. Now look at the timeline again. July 1st, 2025, discovery, March 17th, 2026, Jupiter rendezvous. That is a very fast transit time for an object to get from detection to the outer planets. It implies that 3I Atlas is moving with a purpose, utilizing the gravity wells of our system like a highway system. It isn't drifting, it is driving. We also have to consider the JUICE mission, the Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. It is already out there, heading for the Jovian system. Is it possible that JUICE could be repurposed or redirected to get a better look at 3I Atlas? Or will the timing be just slightly off, a cosmic near miss that leaves us frustrated? The European Space Agency has a golden opportunity here, one that might dwarf the original mission parameters. If JUICE can turn its sensors toward 3I Atlas during the Euphim pass, we might get the photo of the century. But don't hold your breath for a live feed. If they see something with solar panels or a hull, that data is going to be scrubbed before it hits the public servers. That is why we have to rely on the raw data, the orbital mechanics, and the spectral analysis. The numbers don't lie, even if the press releases might obscure the truth. The nickel-to-iron ratio is the chemical fingerprint of a manufactured alloy. In nature, iron and nickel appear together, but usually with a lot of other junk, silicates, carbon, magnesium. To find a high concentration of nickel with low contaminants suggests refining. Who, or what, is refining metal in the depths of interstellar space? It suggests that 3I Atlas might be a fragment of a Dyson sphere or a piece of a larger megastructure that was destroyed. We might be looking at the cosmic equivalent of a piece of a shipwreck washing up on our beach. The jet that points at the sun is another detail that I can't get over. It defies the conservation of momentum unless there is an internal energy source. A comet jet is powered by the sun heating the surface, so it should lag behind the rotation. This jet points asterisk at asterisk the sun, anticipating the position of the energy source. That is behavior we see in solar sails or light craft, not in dirty snowballs. It suggests the object is feeding off the solar wind or the solar radiation pressure. Avi Loeb has been saying this for years regarding Oumuamua. He argued that the non-gravitational acceleration was a sign of artificiality, perhaps a light sail. 3I Atlas seems to be Oumuamua's big brother, exhibiting the same traits but with even more intensity. It is faster, shinier, and its trajectory is even more suspicious. The fact that it is hugging the ecliptic plane is the final nail in the natural object coffin for me. The galaxy is a big 3D sphere. To come into our system and instantly match the flat plane of our planets is like a car merging onto a highway. You don't merge onto a highway by accident, you do it because you want to go where the traffic is. This alignment allows 3I Atlas to have close encounters with multiple planets. It passed Mars, it passed Earth's orbit, and now it is visiting Jupiter. A random rock coming from above or below the solar system would plunge through the plane and be gone. 3I Atlas is staying for a tour, checking out the local real estate. And why Jupiter? Jupiter is the shield of the solar system. Its gravity protects Earth from comets, but it is also the gravitational hub. If you wanted to slingshot to the next star system, or if you wanted to park in a stable orbit, Jupiter is the place to go. The encounter with Euphim might be a braking maneuver to enter a resonant orbit. Imagine if in 2027 we wake up to find that Jupiter has a new moon, and that moon is emitting a radio signal. That is the scenario that is on the table, even if the academics are terrified to say it. The capture of 3I Atlas would be the most significant event in human history. It would mean we have a sample of extraterrestrial technology within reach of our spacecraft. We could send a mission to touch it, to drill into it, to see who built it, but even if it isn't captured, even if it slingshots away into the dark, it has changed everything. It has proven that our solar system is not a hermetically sealed bubble. We are part of a galactic ecosystem, and traffic is passing through. Some of that traffic is natural, rocks and ice, but some of it, the data suggests, is manufactured. 3I Atlas is the wake-up call that we need to stop looking at the sky as a painting and start looking at it as a busy street. The skepticism of the scientific community is healthy, but it can also be blinding. They are so afraid of the A-word, aliens, that they will invent incredibly complex natural theories to explain simple artificial behaviors. They will talk about atypical outgassing and exotic ice structures. They will twist themselves into knots to avoid saying thruster or hull, but for those of us who look at the raw data without fear, the conclusion is becoming obvious. 3I Atlas is a probe, a scout, or a relic. The upcoming date, March 17, 2026, is our chance to catch it in the act. When it passes Euphim, the gravitational tug-of-war will reveal its true mass and density. If it is a hollow shell, the gravity data will show it. If it is a solid block of refined nickel, the data will show that too. Jupiter is going to weigh this object for us, and when the results come in, there will be nowhere left to hide. The narrative that we are alone in the universe is crumbling, brick by brick. 3I Atlas is a sledgehammer hitting that wall. We need to be prepared for the paradigm shift. We need to be ready to accept that we are being watched, or at least visited. The universe is vast, ancient, and filled with potential. It is incredibly arrogant to think we are the only ones building ships. So keep your eyes on the news in March 2026 and read between the lines. Look for the delays in data release. Look for the confused statements from astrophysicists. That is where the truth will be hiding. 3I Atlas is coming, and it has a story to tell. Whether we are smart enough to understand the language it is speaking remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the angry astronaut will be watching. We will be tracking the orbital elements, we will be analyzing the light curves, we will be waiting for the truth to drop. Because in the end, the universe doesn't care if we believe in aliens or not. It just is, and right now, It is sending a messenger to our front door. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep watching the skies. The next few years are going to be a wild ride. 3i Atlas is just the beginning. It is a harbinger of a new era of discovery, an era where we finally realize that the cosmos is teeming with activity, and we are just the new kids on the block, staring up in wonder. Let's hope we learn fast. The encounter with Euphim is the key. It is the moment of truth. Don't blink, you might miss history in the making. And remember, when the mainstream media tells you it's just a rock, look at the nickel, look at the jet, look at the orbit. Rocks don't fly in formation, rocks don't steer, 3i Atlas does, and that changes everything.